They risked their lives to reach Greece, but these Iraqi families are being sent home. They were stuck in the Moria detention centre on the island of Lesbos for many months. Now they volunteered for repatriation.
Moria no good, Karatebe no good.
This is Amygdaleza, a refugee detention centre in the grounds of a police academy near Athens, and the government's invited the media in to show off its voluntary repatriation programme. But this place is also home to dozens of unaccompanied children, some reportedly as young as 12. This is a rare chance to have a look inside this detention centre, but nobody who works here was authorised to talk to us, and we're not being given access to any of the children who live here either. Perhaps that's not surprising, given the recent criticisms by international rights groups. The Greek police service has told Al Jazeera unaccompanied minors are sometimes held in police facilities as a last resort, until they can be transferred to appropriate accommodation, and they're not housed with adults. But Human Rights Watch recently interviewed dozens of unaccompanied refugees aged under 18, and their conclusions are worrying. Human Rights Watch says in some cases they were made to live and sleep in overcrowded, filthy, bug and vermin-infested cells, sometimes without mattresses, and were deprived of appropriate sanitation, hygiene and privacy. Some were held with adults, even though this increases the risk of abuse and sexual violence and violates international and national laws requiring the separation of adults from children in detention. Al Jazeera met one boy who spent months alone in various police cells on Greek islands before being housed in a charity shelter here in Athens.
When
I asked to eat in a room with the other children, they said no. They were shouting at me, and on one occasion they hit me. It wasn't unusual. Once they brought in 2 children younger than me. They hit one of them and broke his hand.
This centre's run by Praxis, a humanitarian organisation helping many of the thousands of unaccompanied children who've arrived in Greece this year. The country only has 800 spaces for them in government-run shelters, with at least 1,700 currently held in detention centres and many more still not registered. Praxis say they've seen youngsters whose hair turned white because of the trauma of being held alone.
They didn't have the possibility even to walk for 1 meter. They were stuck on a bed.
So they were in prison, really?
Of course, the argument from the police side that we don't want them to be out from here in order not to come in contact with adults. But, okay, make a provision, have a caretaker, give them the possibility to feel like a child.
Aid groups working in Greece accept the government needs other EU states to get serious about relocating refugees. But until that happens, they say the most vulnerable, the unaccompanied children, need far better protection. Nadeem Barber, Al Jazeera, Athens.